With last year's national economic freefall came one of the largest overall job losses our country has seen in decades. And while many Americans are still looking for a job, others are creating their own. Today, we meet some Oklahomans who are stepping out on their own, and we begin with some true American heroes. Here's our Courtney Dehoff.
A growing number of America's war veterans are finding themselves in the unemployment line after having left the front lines. Unemployment numbers for soldiers returning from the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan have almost doubled since 2008. The latest job figures from the Labor Department show the highest unemployment numbers among young veterans ages 18 to 24. New opportunities are rolling off the line for Larry Van Sciver. A disabled veteran, Van Sciver is the owner of his own t-shirt business.
After getting injured during my tours of Iraq, I did a design and started selling. People said, "Can you give me that drawing?" And so that's the way I started.
With little experience, Van Sciver says he fell into his business.
I like to draw and piddle and honor our troops, so it was just doing design to basically, have a good time while you're trying to cheer up people around you that are wounded or injured. And so from out of having fun came a business. I came to here to S&S Textiles, basically with no money, just an ideal. And I came in and I met Jeremy and Becky, the owners here of S&S Textiles, and said, "Here's some drawings I have. I would like to make these into a shirt." They not only helped me refine my artwork, showing me the color process and teaching me how to do things, they started off basically advancing my business by letting me make a run of shirts.
And the orders started coming in. But having spent the past 35 years in the military, Van Sciver needed help. That's why he attended an entrepreneurship boot camp for veterans at Oklahoma State University.
What did we find?
They brought in guest speakers to help you learn about how to run a business, how to grow, how to advertise. These speakers were some of the best that I've heard in the nation as far as saying, hey, we care about you as an individual. They provided you with a mentor that sat down and took one-on-one time.
I'm telling you, your business will suddenly take off selling computers.
OSU Entrepreneurship Chair Mike Morris says the Entrepreneurship Boot Camp gives a roadmap to disabled veterans returning to civilian life.
60 kind of shoes to pick from when you go.
We have a record number of disabled veterans, young men and women coming back who might have died at an earlier time, but field medicine is such that they come back with a disability, they're out of the service. Many of them don't have a path, don't have a road. We see entrepreneurship as an empowering option for them. And so we put this program together to help those young men and women start their own ventures and take those ventures and make them sustainable.
After paralysis in the Air Force left him wheelchair-bound, Christopher Stanford developed a way he can exercise in his wheelchair, a device he wants to market nationwide.
Currently, I have a project that is a stationary wheelchair exercise apparatus, which allows a person in a wheelchair to propel themselves in a stationary way. I can navigate a game. We can navigate a game. We've created virtual worlds, so a person in a wheelchair can, on a screen in front of them, navigate as if they were propelling themselves.
Like other veterans at the conference, Stanford says this is the culmination of a lot of hard work.
It's taken me 3.5 years to get to the point where I have a product worthy for sales and marketing. Part of this program is to start entrepreneurship among general people, just with average skills like myself, and take your idea to the next level where you can actually make a living from it. And that's what I'm hoping to do.
People with a military background, as a function of the work ethic, as a function of the discipline, succeed in new venture creation at higher rates than society at large. In many ways, we forget our veterans. We honor them when they come home, but then life goes on and we sort of take them for granted or forget them. And we need to do a lot more for what comes next. And that's what this program is about.
A program that is giving veterans like Stanford and Van Sciver a second chance. A chance to live better lives after sacrificing so much for their country.
Which is why a unique program at Oklahoma State University is helping disabled American veterans create their own jobs. Currently, about 185,000 veterans from the Iraq and Afghanistan wars are unemployed, just a few thousand less than the number of soldiers currently deployed to those countries overseas.